Naruto Uzumaki is among the top 3 most important figures in ninja history. Beside the first Hokage, Hashirama Senju, and the Sage of the Six Paths, Hagoromo Otsutsuki, he is the child of prophecy who finally brought peace to the world. But what if Naruto was also an Uchiha like Sasuke? Would he still be able to fulfill the same destiny? Or will the curse of hatred hold him back? Let's start with Naruto's birth. He is born to Minato and Kushina. The Nine Tails attack happens, the Nine Tails is sealed inside Naruto, and of course, they die protecting Naruto. This is just like the actual story. But let me tell you that Minato wasn't the 4th Hokage. The reason is simple. Even though Minato's father was Namikaze, his mother was an Uchiha. He was still just as competent, but because of his Uchiha bloodline, Danzo sabotaged things a little too much. And so, Minato never became the 4th Hokage. Then, when the attack happened, Danzo blamed the Uchiha clan, and everyone became distrustful of the Uchiha again. The hate also shifted to Naruto himself, because not only was he the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, he was also an Uchiha. Hiruzen trusted Shisui, and so he asked Shisui's family to adopt Naruto. Sadly, Naruto still grows up lonely and isolated though, because, well, he is a Jinchuriki that also has an Uchiha descent as well. The villagers avoid him, and most of the Uchiha also don't see him as one of their own. In fact, they also hate him because they blame him for the Nine Tails attack. This makes Naruto feel like an outcast, both in the village and in his own clan. But at least Shisui treats him like a brother, and Shisui's mother treats him like her own son as well. You can say that Shisui became to Naruto what Itachi was to Sasuke. He trains Naruto and also teaches Naruto about the will of fire. Shisui is the main inspiration to him to one day become the Hokage. Now, fast forward to the Uchiha massacre. It still happens, but just a little bit different. Shisui notices the growing tension between the Uchiha and the village, and so he tries to use his Kodo Amatsukami to stop the coup. But Danzo interferes, similar to what happened to the canon story. For a while, Naruto believes that Shisui is away on a mission, but then the day comes when Naruto learns of Shisui's death in the worst way possible. Itachi spares Naruto out of respect for Shisui, but he also tells Naruto that it was him who killed Shisui. He did it to awaken his Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto was already completely devastated because of the massacre of his adoptive mother and the rest of the clan, so the news of Shisui's death finally breaks him. He loses it and begins to transform into the Nine Tails, but Itachi uses his Mangekyo Sharingan to put the Nine Tails in his place, and then makes Naruto suffer a vision of Shisui's death using Tsukuyomi. Naruto's Sharingan awakens, but he passes out. Itachi then treats Sasuke the same way he treated him in the original story, and the massacre ends with only 2 survivors, Naruto Uchiha and Sasuke Uchiha. Naruto wakes up after the massacre completely broken. From his perspective, his adoptive mother was his real mother, and Shisui was his actual brother. Now they are all gone, and Itachi is the one who did it all. Sasuke, on the other hand, is the same as the actual story, but ironically, he ends up hating Naruto for surviving the massacre. As wrong as this is going to sound, Sasuke just can't make sense of why an outsider like Naruto was allowed to live while his own parents were killed. Over the next 5 years, both boys very rarely come across each other, and then at age 12, they graduate. After the graduation, the Genin are assigned their teams. And of course, Naruto and Sasuke both end up in Team 7 along with Sakura. During the Forest of Death part of the Chunin exams, Orochimaru reveals that he wants both Naruto and Sasuke. When he gives Sasuke the curse mark, he tries to mark Naruto too, but the Nine Tails chakra rejects it. He puts the 5 element seal on Naruto and says to himself that he'll one day also come for Naruto's body. During the month-long training period before the Chunin exam finals, both Naruto and Sasuke train separately. Sasuke trains under Kakashi. Naruto has a chance meeting with Jiraiya. He realizes that Jiraiya is strong, and so he asks him to train him. Now, Jiraiya is still the same old goofy, pervy Jiraiya, but this version of Naruto is different. He's not just a shadow clone merchant. He is insanely skilled because of the training he used to do with Shisui, and he further leveled up during the 5 years after the massacre. And although he is conflicted about his goal of becoming the Hokage, he is mature and perceptive. Jiraiya already knows that Naruto is Minato's son, so obviously he had no objections about training Naruto. But before we get into the training itself, let's first talk about Naruto's natural affinity. Is it still going to be wind release? Yes, he still has wind release as his main chakra nature, but his Uchiha blood also gives him an affinity for fire release. Hold on, doesn't that mean he can have a Kekkei Genkai that combines fire and wind? The combination of fire and wind is scorch release. But let me point out that just because Naruto has Uchiha blood, Minato's wind release, and Uzumaki chakra reserves, it doesn't mean that he's some kind of genetic masterpiece. His Kekkei Genkai is just Sharingan, and he simply has more potential for fire release compared to the original story. Jiraiya realizes that right now, the most important thing is for Naruto to have a good mentor. He removes the 5-element seal from Orochimaru and teaches Naruto the Rasengan. Yes, unlike the manga, Naruto learns the Rasengan before the Chunin finals. In the finals, Naruto's fight against Neji is completely different. He shows the difference between an Uchiha prodigy and a Hyuga prodigy. Naruto's Sharingan sees through Neji's gentle fist and allows him to wait for the perfect opening to hit Neji with the Rasengan. Naruto proves himself superior, but that doesn't mean he doesn't empathize with Neji's situation. Over the past 5 years, Naruto has slowly started to see the darker side of the Leaf Village. He already distrusted the third Hokage for allowing the Uchiha massacre to happen, but after learning about Neji's circumstances, his perspective expands even further. Naruto begins to develop his vision of what a true Hokage is supposed to be. A true Hokage isn't just someone who should protect everyone. He is someone who must also shoulder everyone's hatred. Sasuke also does well against Gaara, but the match is cut short when the Sand and Sound villages launch their invasion. Orochimaru reveals himself and attacks the third Hokage, while Gaara goes on a rampage. Sasuke leads Gaara to the first, and soon Naruto also chases after them. Sasuke gets wrecked when Gaara goes overboard, but Naruto pulls up and saves him. The Rasengan allows him to break through Gaara's defense more effectively than Sasuke's Chidori. Gaara is left with no choice but to give up control to the One-Tails while he himself goes to sleep. But that just means he underestimated Naruto. You see, Naruto manages to break through Gaara's defenses and punch him awake in this version of the story as well. When Naruto feels the loneliness in Gaara's heart, he talks about his own experiences. He talks about how, at the very least, he had Shisui. Even now, it's not as though he's completely alone. While Sasuke may not like to admit it, Naruto considers him a friend. The same goes for Sakura, the other Genin, Kakashi, and now even Jiraiya. For the first time in several years, Naruto tears up as he counts all the people he has cared about. This deeply unsettles Gaara because it forces him to remember his mother, his siblings, and others who have ever cared for him. He feels disgusted with himself, and Gaara can't even bring himself to look Naruto in the eye anymore. Gaara leaves with a new outlook on life, while Naruto's belief that a true Hokage must shoulder everyone's hatred grows even stronger. Following the invasion, the third Hokage's death leaves the seat empty, but everyone knows better to leave the village to Danzo. Jiraiya still refuses, however, and he suggests Tsunade, and also leaves with Naruto to go find her. During the search, Naruto and Itachi meet again for the first time in 5 years. All that hatred, rage, and pain takes over, and Naruto attacks Itachi purely on impulse. But Itachi was still far superior. Naruto asks Itachi why he killed Shisui and the rest of the clan. Itachi simply tells him that he's still too young to learn the truth. Thanks to Jiraiya, Itachi and Kisame retreat, and that's the end of it for the time being. But let me also add that Itachi has already given Sasuke another dose of Tsukuyomi before this face-off with Naruto and Jiraiya. Yup, Sasuke and Kakashi are now in a hospital, just like in the original story. Naruto and Jiraiya eventually find Tsunade, and there's also the battle against Orochimaru and Kabuto. During the fight, Naruto protects Tsunade, and she notices that this boy Naruto has great potential for both good and evil. After returning to the village, Naruto learns about what happened to Sasuke and goes to visit him in the hospital. Sasuke explains what happened, that Itachi told him he still lacked hatred. Naruto replies by mentioning that Itachi told him he's still too young to learn the truth. This rubs Sasuke the wrong way. Truth, he snaps. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Naruto replies that he will never forgive Itachi for what he did, but he still wants to know the truth. What kind of darkness drove Itachi to such a decision? Sasuke, on the other hand, is still more interested in taking Itachi's life with his own hands, but at the same time, he also feels envious of Naruto because, unlike him, Itachi sort of had an actual conversation with Naruto. It has been 5 years since the massacre. Naruto has finally started to understand his complex feelings, while Sasuke is sinking even further deeper into the darkness. It's worse in this story because he can't even compete with Naruto. When he receives Orochimaru's invitation through the Sounding Four, he gives in. Naruto doesn't go with the Sasuke recovery squad. He chases after Sasuke all alone. Shikamaru learns about this in the morning and goes after them with the boys. And Sakura also joins the squad. During their clash at the Valley of the End, Sasuke gains the upper hand by using the curse mark, but Naruto turns the situation around after tapping a little bit into the Nine-Tails chakra. The fight is brutal, but unlike the original story, Naruto is the one who wins. But here's where it gets interesting. He could have dragged Sasuke back to the village, but he didn't. Naruto tells Sasuke that he won't force him to come back, because if there's anyone who understands Sasuke's hatred, it's him. He also tells Sasuke that he better not let Orochimaru get the better of him, and adds that he'll also leave the village for now. He declares it's now a race to see who will reach Itachi first. For the first time, Sasuke develops genuine respect for Naruto. He feels silly for getting so annoyed and jealous of someone as real as Naruto. Naruto, on the other hand, feels a deep sadness. They are the last of the Uchiha clan. Is revenge and hatred really the best they can do? After their fight, neither of them returns to the village. Naruto walks away in one direction and Sasuke in the other. As they part ways, both awaken their 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Jiraiya finds Naruto in the land of waves a few weeks later, and the 3-year time skip happens now. Over the next 3 years, Naruto was fully locked in. Although he still hasn't made peace with Kurama and avoids relying on the Nine-Tails chakra, his Sharingan and massive chakra reserves have enabled him to grow at an unreal pace. When the Kazekage recovery mission begins, most of it happens the same way as in the original story, except Naruto has no interest in bringing Sasuke back until one of them kills Itachi. Next, Naruto also learns the Rasen Shuriken technique thanks to Kakashi and Yamato. During the Akatsuki suppression mission, as Shikamaru avenges Asuma by taking down Hiden, Naruto faces Kakuzu in a one-on-one fight and personally kills him. Meanwhile, Sasuke turns on Orochimaru. Orochimaru calls him foolish for challenging him, and also mentions that after taking Sasuke's body, his next plan will be to go after Naruto's body. Sasuke just laughs at him, wins, and basically kills him. When news of Orochimaru's death at Sasuke's hands reaches the Leaf Village, an 8-man squad is formed to track Sasuke down before he can reach Itachi. This squad includes Team Kakashi and also Team Kurenai for their tracking skills. For Team Kakashi, it's Kakashi, Sai, Sakura, and Naruto. For Team Kurenai, it's Hinata, Akamaru, and Kiba. But their leader is Yamato, not Kurenai, because Kurenai is pregnant and also mourning Asuma's death. Although Naruto is part of the squad, he's made up his mind that if Sasuke is already facing off against Itachi, he will make sure no one interferes. During the search, by pure coincidence, Naruto comes across Itachi again. Then, much to Naruto's surprise, Itachi offers to reveal the truth. This causes Naruto to pause and listen, and Itachi tells him everything. How Danzo conspired against the Uchiha clan, how he stole Shisui's eye, and how Shisui entrusted Itachi with his other eye before his death. Itachi explains how he was left with no choice but to carry out the massacre to prevent a civil war that would have destroyed the village. He learns everything. Naruto listens and listens, and as he listens, he realizes that while he can understand Itachi's struggle, it still doesn't excuse Itachi's actions. He reveals that he'll personally retrieve Shisui's stolen eye from Danzo, and as for Itachi, he'll leave him for Sasuke. Later, Sasuke finally kills Itachi and learns the full truth from Obito, while Jiraiya dies in the hidden rain village at the hands of Pain. When the squad returns to the Leaf Village, Naruto learns of Jiraiya's death. He was still coping with how Shisui's death and Uchiha clan massacre was Danzo's fault, and now this? That day, Naruto's heart completely broke for the second time in his life and awakened his Mangekyo Sharingan. He was once on the verge of letting himself go, of succumbing to the darkness, but now he has decided that he'll follow through with Shisui and Jiraiya's vision of peace. Even if he has to use force, he'll become the Hokage, shoulder everyone's hatred, and erase all darkness. After deciphering Jiraiya's final message, Naruto heads to Mount Myoboku and quickly masters Sage Mode. He also figures out his Mangekyo Sharingan abilities. In the manga, most of the village is already destroyed, and most of the villagers are dead by the time Naruto arrives to save the day. But here, Naruto makes it in time for the Pain invasion. There are still casualties, but he keeps the Deva Path of Pain occupied while Tsunade, Kakashi, Hinata, and the others defeat the other paths. The battle between Deva Path Pain and Naruto is epic but brutal. Naruto uses Sage Mode and his Mangekyo abilities. His Mangekyo gives Seishin no Kagami in his right eye and Kazakiri in his left eye. Seishin no Kagami means Mirror of Truth. This ability is about seeing through deception and reflecting one's true nature back at them. However, one use is enough to stun Naruto's chakra for the day. Kazakiri means Wind Cutter. It allows Naruto to summon and manipulate a storm barrier of wind chakra around himself or his allies. This barrier can be both a defense and an offense. Unfortunately, Naruto is cornered and struck with chakra rods that disrupt his chakra flow. He becomes unable to move and realizes that the only way out is the Nine Tails. He meets Kurama in the Mindscape and uses Mirror of Truth to understand Kurama and to make Kurama understand him. Of course, the Mirror of Truth also completely completely depletes his remaining chakra and leaves him at Kurama's mercy. Kurama sees this as the perfect opportunity to take over Naruto, and Naruto's body also starts transforming into the Nine Tails. But that's when Minato pulls up to repair the seal. Naruto meets his actual father for the first time in his life and realizes that he was adopted. Well, truth be told, he did think that was the case because neither Shisui or his mother had blonde hair. They have a conversation, Minato encourages him, repairs the seal, and then leaves the room. Conveniently, when the Nine Tails tried taking over, the transformation freed Naruto from the chakra rods, and some of his chakra reserves were also restored. This means he can still fight. He uses Kazekiri to immediately hit Devapath with a Rasengan. Next is the meeting with Nagato. They talk, and Naruto listens to his story. He learns that Danzo was also responsible for turning Hanzo against Yahiko's Akatsuki. Nagato asks him if he has an answer for peace, and Naruto replies that he doesn't have any answer. All he knows is the path he must take. He'll become a true Hokage who shoulders everyone's hatred and rids the world of darkness. Nagato sees a vision of Jiraiya standing right next to Naruto and wonders if Naruto truly is the child of prophecy. He offers Naruto his Rinnegan, but before Naruto can refuse, Obito's Kamui suddenly appears and pulls both Nagato and Konan into his dimension. Naruto is enraged because, of course, the battle isn't over. Obito, on the other hand, kills Nagato and Konan. He then takes the Rinnegan from Nagato's corpse. Naruto returns to the village and is hailed as a hero for defeating pain. But to be fair, right now, Naruto is more interested in getting even with Danzo. He spends the next few days recovering his strength. Then he takes Danzo's life and finally recovers Shisui's eye from him. Naruto implants Shisui's eye on top of his right eye and gains Shisui's Kodo Amatsukami. It's the second most powerful genjutsu in the story, second only to the infinite Tsukuyomi itself. Next up, Obito's declaration of the Fourth Great Ninja War during the 5 Kage Summit. Sasuke doesn't pull up to the summit because Danzo was already dead, but he had already attempted to capture Killer Bee by this point, and so the Cloud Village wants him dead. Meanwhile, Elder Toad Fukasaku calls Naruto back to Mount Myoboku. Naruto receives the key to the 8 Trigram Seal, which has been containing the Nine Tails power. Now, just like how it was in the original story, Naruto learns to control the Nine Tails. On the other side, Sasuke finally accepts Itachi's eyes from Obito to achieve Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto then learns that the war has already started, and even though the Alliance wants to keep him and Bee hidden, they are both ready to join. Madara Uchiha tries to summon the Nine Tails, but that's when Nagato pulls up to the war and confronts him one-on-one. Until the 5 Kage enter the chat, Nagato fights Madara all by himself. Now, Kurama didn't like Madara's attempt to summon him, and he ends up offering Naruto more of his chakra because he'd rather it be Naruto than Madara. Next is the fight against Tobi, who uses the 6 Jinchuriki Akatsuki had captured as the 6 Paths of Pain. During this battle, Naruto manages to free Son Goku, the Four Tails. He thanks him and gives him some of his chakra before fading to the demonic stature of the outer path. Kurama finally gives in. He decides to believe in Naruto and gives him all of his power as well. When Naruto enters his full-tailed beast mode for the first time, he's able to free the other 5 tailed beasts from Tobi's 6 Paths of Pain jutsu. Just like Son Goku, each of these freed tailed beasts shares some of their chakra with Naruto before they're pulled back into the statue. When Kakashi and Guy arrive at the scene, Naruto immediately tells Kakashi that the masked man isn't actually Madara Uchiha. As the fight continues, Kakashi breaks Obito's mask. He is left completely flabbergasted as he sees that the enemy is actually Obito Uchiha. Obito then reveals his story, how he survived the cave-in during their childhood mission, what happened afterward, and how Rin's death caused him to give up on the Shinobi world. Obito uses a combination of the tailed beasts that they had captured, along with chakra from a tentacle of the 8 Tails, and 9 Tails chakra they got from Kinkaku, to transform into the 10 Tails. This isn't the complete 10 Tails, but it's enough for a partial transformation. Naruto tries to stop him using the Mirror of Truth. This technique forces Obito to face his true self and his real feelings. However, it backfires because Obito wasn't mentally prepared to face his own truth. He uses the partial 10 Tails transformation and reaches a level of strength where Naruto, Kakashi, Guy, and Killer Bee can't defeat him. Meanwhile, Itachi and Sasuke were working together to defeat Kabuto. Itachi forces him into a position where he has no choice but to release the impure otherworld reincarnation jutsu. Itachi fades away after telling Sasuke that he has always loved him. The rest of the reanimation shinobi also begin to fade away, but when Madara notices that his soul is about to return to the afterlife, he simply revokes the contract Kabuto's jutsu had with him and becomes immortal. He immediately leaves to go and get the Nine Tails from Naruto. The 5 Kage try to stop him, but now that Nagato wasn't there to help them, they get brutally destroyed. Sasuke, on the other hand, revives Orochimaru just like he did in the original story. Orochimaru summons Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen, and Minato for him. Minato feels out of place because he was never a Hokage, and also because he is an Uchiha. But since his soul was also sealed in the Shinigami, Orochimaru summons him too. Sasuke shares the story of what Itachi did with all of them, and after hearing them out, he decides to honor Itachi's legacy and protect the Leaf Village. But right after he makes the decision, he asks Orochimaru to send them all back to the afterlife. The living shouldn't rely on the dead to protect the future after all. While Hashirama and Tobirama approve of this mature decision, and Hiruzen reluctantly accepts it despite wanting to help, Minato speaks up. He mentions that half of the Nine Tails is sealed within him and how Naruto is going to need that power in the war. Sasuke understands and agrees to Minato joining the war, while Orochimaru sends the others to the afterlife. You see, while Sasuke absolutely hated Naruto in the beginning, he has slowly been developing respect for him ever since their battle at the Valley of the End. Right now, Sasuke believes that Naruto is the only one in the world who can still understand him. During the actual war, similar to the canon story, Might Guy uses 8 gates and almost kills Madara, but of course, he does not succeed. Meanwhile, Naruto's consciousness meets Hagoromo, the sage of the 6 paths. He shares his story and reveals how Naruto is a reincarnation of Asura, while Sasuke is the reincarnation of Indra. He says this, but then also adds, "There's something unusual about you. You're the reincarnation of Asura, yet you were born with traits from Indra's lineage. The Mangekyo symbolizes the curse of hatred, and yet, why? How is it that someone like you, who carries that curse, embodies the will of fire so strongly?" Naruto replies, "The curse of hatred, huh? Maybe that could have been my destiny, but I was lucky. I had incredible shinobi around me who believed in me and taught me about the will of fire. I won't let them down, and I'll never let my parents down either." Hagoromo smiles and realizes that Naruto is different. Back at the battlefield, there is a grim scene. Naruto never shared his chakra with the Alliance, which is why there are a lot of casualties. Naruto has 6 paths yang power, but his Mangekyo in one eye also evolves into the Rinnegan. He becomes the first reincarnation of Asura in history to wield the Rinnegan. And so it begins. The battle between the strongest Uchiha in history versus the strongest Uchiha of today. Unfortunately, the battle doesn't last long, because after a few minutes, Madara gets the opportunity to use Infinite Tsukuyomi. As the Infinite Tsukuyomi is cast, everything seems to be going according to Madara's plan, or should I say, Black Zetsu's plan. Madara is killed and Kaguya emerges. Well, from here onwards, Team Kakashi manages to defeat Kaguya a bit easier than the original story, since Naruto is somewhat stronger here. But now, what about the aftermath? Will we have a Naruto versus Sasuke battle again? Oh, come on. Of course we will. And just like in the original story, Naruto wins and calms Sasuke down. The rest of the story is a bit similar to the canon one. Naruto becomes Hokage, which makes him the first Uchiha to achieve the position. In the shadows, Sasuke protects the peace Naruto creates and makes sure no one tears it down. Click on this video next, where I'm presenting 25 secrets you never knew about Naruto Uzumaki. Go on, check it out!